What's going on? Vincent Rapisardi, Big Blue Unbiased.com. Thank you to those who've liked, commented, and subscribed. I really appreciate you guys. Make sure to turn notifications on so every time I post, you get a notification and you can come join in on the conversation. So in this video, we're going to talk about, for one final time, the Joe Judge, Mark Colombo thing. I'm tired of talking about it and tired of hearing about it, but I just want to put it to rest. One last time because we keep hearing this and that. So we'll talk about it one more time and then that's it. We will also talk about Xavier, McKinney, Oshane, Ximines. They have been designated off injured reserve, activated, and they are ready for practice. They're ready, they have practiced, and they're potentially ready to play this Sunday versus the Bengals, according to Joe Judge. We'll get into that, and we will finish up with the Jordan Raanan Twitter feud going on. I don't know what's going on with Jordan Raanan. I had respect for him, but I kind of lost it. I'm kind of, I don't know, weird situation. He took some shots at a lot of Giants YouTubers, a lot of Giants content creators. You know, guys that just kind of do it for the love of the game. They don't really make that much money, but they do it because they love it, and for some reason took some unnecessary shots. So we will definitely get into that. So let's start with the Mark Colombo, Joe Judge thing. It's over, right? It happened. Offensive line coach got fired, and that's it. All right, we're done. That's really it. I'm so tired of talking about it. I'm so tired of hearing about it. Yeah, when it first happened, I was like, whoa, what happened? But it's been like a week, all right? An offensive line coach got fired. They hired a new one. It's an offensive line coach. I'm not saying they're not important, but this story like continues to be talked about, and then there's another layer, and then it hops into another story about Joe Judge talking bad about Tom Brady behind his back, and then remember the hoidiness of Joe Judge, according to Mike Silver, and how people are already getting tired of Joe Judge. Can we just, like, watch football? You know, like, I think so many reporters, it's like, it's almost becoming like TMZ, right? Football's becoming like, it's not even about football anymore. To some, you know, to some reporters, it's not even about football anymore. It's just about creating drama. And I used to write a lot of, like, rumor-related articles. When I did a lot of writing on my website, I would write a lot of rumor-related articles. I thought that they were interesting. But eventually I realized that they're mostly just nonsense. Like, there's very little truth, a lot of speculation with these beat writers and these reporters. They do a lot of speculation. They really don't know anything in terms of inside information for the most part. For the most part, it's just kind of like, oh, I think that maybe this could happen. And you're like, oh, well, they're a beat reporter. They're around the team every day. They probably have insider information. And usually they don't. I'm not saying it's all, 100% of the time it's like that, but for the most part, when it's an interesting, clicky, flashy story, usually there's really not much behind it. It's a lot of fluff. So I really stopped writing a lot of that stuff, and I'm like, you know what, a lot of this is just kind of fake. It's not really true. And a lot of reporters are like that. A lot of reporters have turned into like the TMZ of football. Let's just talk football. Enough with this and the division and when I say division, I don't mean the NFC East. I mean like the division that Joe Judge is creating with his players and the hoidiness. And then he's talking bad about Tom Brady behind his back. Can we just play football? Can we just watch football? Can we just talk football? It's just nonsense. It has nothing to do with the game, and I really doubt if any of it is really true. So who cares? Let's talk football. So we're done with that. We're done with the Mark Colombo, Joe Judge thing, the security guard telling him Mark Colombo's fired. Who cares? He's fired. It's been like a week. Move on. He's an offensive line coach. You hired a new one. And that's it. That's all I'm going to say about that. Xavier, McKinney, Oshane, Ximines, they have been activated off IR, and Joe Judge said they could play potentially this week versus the Bengals. This would be huge. The Giants are starting to get healthy at the right time. McKinney, obviously rookie second-round pick, a lot of high expectations, right? People are expecting a lot out of him. Talented player. Player that many people thought should have been a first-round pick. So, a lot of people thought the Giants got good value in the second round with Xavier McKinney. Kind of a safety that moves around, does a lot of different things, very versatile. So now he potentially could play this week. Adds to that safety situation with Jabril Peppers, Julian Love, Logan Ryan. Gives Patrick Graham some pieces to work with. It's going to be interesting. Oshane Ximines. Oshane Ximines only started 3 games this year. Obviously, he's been hurt. But 5 quarterback pressures, 3 quarterback hits, and he barely played in those games. Like, if you look at his overall snap percentage, very low in the 4 games that he played, the 3 games that he technically started. Very low snap percentage in those games, and was still getting after the quarterback. And maybe, again, it didn't show with big sack numbers, but the advanced metrics show you that he was getting after the quarterback. And what we have learned with Leonard Williams, something I told you guys about, eventually, if you continue to get pressure on the quarterback, you're going to run into some sacks. Okay, and Leonard Williams, over the course of his career, we'll talk about Leonard Williams specifically, a lot of pressures, a lot of quarterback hits. And then people said, well, he's not getting a lot of sacks. Well, he'll eventually run into some sacks. When you get after the quarterback consistently, eventually you're going to run into some sacks, and I think the same thing will be true for Oshane Ximines if he continues to get after the passer. So those potentially could be two really big additions for the Giants defense. So there's that. The final thing I want to talk about, Jordan Raanan. Very weird tweet today. Really took some shots at Giants YouTubers, Giants content creators. Weird. Just, I don't know. It was like out of nowhere. It was like, what did we do to you? I didn't do anything to you. I actually respected Jordan Raanan a lot. I liked him as a beat reporter. I had no issue with him. But his tweet, he said that people like me, and I'm not saying he's specifically calling out me, but people like me steal, that was the word he used, steal his reporting and his information, right? Steal it. And then they profit off of it. Well, here's the thing. I don't steal anything, okay? We don't steal any of your information. You are a beat writer. You are a reporter, right? You report what's going on with the New York Giants and you make it public. I mean, unless you just want to, follow the Giants, be a credentialed beat writer, and just keep all that news to yourself and never report it, you can do that if you want, but you are a beat writer, you're a reporter, so you report what's happening with the team to everyone who follows you on Twitter, who reads your work, who listens to your podcasts and all that, right? That's kind of your job. I don't steal anything from you. I don't hack your computer. None of that, okay? I just look at your Twitter account, look at your articles, your podcast, whatever it is, and then I mean, I've sourced him many times on this channel. I've said many times, according to ESPN's Jordan Raanan. And I don't know what kind of issue he would have with that, right? If you're being used as a source, right, whether in written content, a YouTube video, or wherever, that means that you have credibility, or that person thinks that you have credibility. That's a good thing if you are a beat writer or reporter, right? You want people to mention you as a source. You want people to use you as a source because it shows that you have some credibility and it promotes your work, right? I don't know what issue he would have with that. And also, he's taking jabs specifically at people who create content, YouTubers. Like, have you ever heard of a talk show? You ever heard of a news broadcast? They use news sources all the time for years and years and years, right? They talk about news. They talk about different stories. Many times they source whoever it was that reported it, and that's kind of how it goes. So I don't know what the specific jab is at like YouTubers. And for the most part, smaller channels are not going to make as much money as a professional news anchor or talk show host who's talking about news topics. So very, very weird jab by Jordan Raanan. I lost a lot of respect for that guy. I think maybe all my respects has been lost at this point for Jordan Raanan. And I like the guy. I really did like the guy. But after this, I've lost respect for him. I don't understand that. It came across as very snarky, like an elitist media attitude. Actually, let me take off the unbiased lens for like 10 seconds here, okay? Just personal opinion. I'm just getting tired of the media in general. The way that they act, their narrative-driven reporting, their biased nonsense. I'm done with it. I've just had enough with it. And this is just yet like another example of just like another media elitist who, kind of looks down on other people who are just trying to, they're just trying to create content, things that they enjoy talking about. Again, a lot of YouTubers that have smaller channels are not going to get paid a lot of money doing this. Okay? And there are many YouTubers, Giants content creators that I'm not best friends with and I've had different spats with on Twitter. But at the end of the day, I'll always respect their work. I'll always respect that they work hard. I'll always respect that they put out work and that they do preparation and that they record videos and that they edit it and they do that. I don't have to be best friends with them. I don't have to say that I like their content or I'm fans or I watch their content. But I respect that they put in the work to do it because, like I said, as a small YouTube channel, you're not going to make that much money, okay? So they do it because they love it, and I will respect that. Even if I don't agree with the way that they go about some things, certain people on YouTube, I still respect that they work hard and they put out content. So, again, weird situation. That's all I got to say on that. So that's all I got to say on everything. So thanks for watching.